Hello everyone and welcome to RcHelpDotCom. I'm Tony and today we're going to be talking about the DX9. Now in this video what we're going to be doing is upgrading the firmware on the DX9. I was going to do some other videos first, but this thing keeps bugging me, so we're going to go ahead and update the firmware. Right now I'm on 1.01 Atom or Alpha or Apple or whatever you want to call it. Eddie. Now whenever I shut this radio down, it comes up with a little deal on the screen that basically says please register your product, please update your product, and all that. As you know, whenever you register with Spectrum, your serial number is specific to your radio, obviously. But your downloads, your firmware upgrades are specific to your radio. They will not work with anybody else's radio. So it kind of backs you into a corner and you have to register your product in order to update your firmware, which is actually a pretty good thing because if any recalls happen on these, they send you an email and you know about it. Alright, so the first thing we got to do is we got to get our computer and we have to download the file. And in order to do that, you have to go to community.spectrumrc.com, and if you don't have an account, create an account. If you do and you've already registered products, then it's easy. You just log in and you register a new product. You find your serial number in your radio, I'll show you that, and then you put it into the computer and it's registered. Now you can download updates. So let's dive down to the computer and I'll show you where we got to go. Alright, so once you get logged in, this is a screen you're going to see. It's going to be a community screen, my account, my products. Now as you can see, I've got the DX8 and the DX9. I don't have the DX8 no more. I need to kind of delete that off of there. If you haven't registered your radio yet or any of your Spectrum products, then all you got to do is go right here, product registration. Go in there, register your product. It'll give you a serial number just like down here. Put it in and it registers your product for you. Once your product is registered, then getting updates is actually fairly simple. So what we need to do with the DX9 is we need to come over here to download updates. Go ahead and click on that. Now in here, it gives you instructions right here to go ahead and update your firmware. It's real easy. You put it on the SD card and then you put it in the radio and you turn the radio on. So what we got to do is come down here and click on updates. What that's going to do is it's going to download a file right here. Now obviously, my slow internet, this is going to take a minute. Alright, so once you have the file downloaded, you need to locate your memory card. If you have a laptop, then you more than likely have a slot to put this memory card in. If you have a desktop, some of them have this slot. If you don't have a slot for these memory cards, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you could take your camera and hook it up and hopefully you can put it onto the memory card that's in the camera, and I don't know. I don't know how you would do that. I have memory readers on all my computers, so yeah. What we'll do, take the memory card and we'll just stick it in the computer. Alright, so we'll come down here, we'll click on that little doodad right there, click open to view files. Alright, now that we have this window open, as you can see, there's nothing in it, obviously. We're going to right click on here, and by the way, I'm in Chrome. Hit show in folder, and right here is the file. Whatever you do, do not change the extension. Now I got to get this one back. And what we're going to do is we're just going to drag that over. Just like that. It's that quick to get the file from your computer onto the flash drive. Now, this is the most important part. You need to come up here into computer. And here in my computer, you're going to select your SD card, right click it, and then you're going to hit eject. You have to hit eject, otherwise you could mess up your program. Alright, so once you have that, we can go ahead and take the card out of the computer, and all we have to do is plug it into the radio. But before I do that, we're going to dive down and we're going to take a look at exactly where you go in to find your product registration number or your serial number. Alright, to register your product, it's as easy as pushing your roller button and then turning your radio on. And that's going to take you into system setup. Alright, once you're in your system setup menu, scroll all the way down and come up one to system settings. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go to next, next, and right here is the window that you need. As you can see, I'm on 1.01 alpha. This right here is the URL you need to go to, and this is your serial number that you're going to use whenever you register your product. Alright, so now that you know where that is, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to back completely out of it, go ahead and shut it off. And this right here is a screen that it gives you whenever you turn it off. It's already shut off. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our SD card and we're going to stick it in the radio, lock it in, and then we're just going to turn it on. Remember, we've already put the program on the SD card. So now All we're going to do is turn it on. A couple flickers of the screen. Hopefully that's not a bad thing. I'm learning while y'all are learning. Alright, mine seemed to have froze up, so we're going to go ahead and turn it off. Probably going to make it mad. Turn it back on. Alright, and there we go. Now I had a little bit of a problem with mine, and all I did was I turned it off, took the card out, turned the radio on, and it flashed the screen and it flashed the little orange Spectrum logo up top. I shut it back off, put my card back in, turn it back on, and that's what you guys just saw. Now, what we need to do is we need to go in here, go all the way down, system setup, yes, all the way down, system settings, next, 1.06, and now as you can see it doesn't have that deal up top, and now whenever we turn it off, now it just shuts off. Our radio is completely updated. That's it. Alright guys, so there you go. That is all it takes to update your firmware in your radio. I know it seemed kind of involved, but trust me, it's not. All you gotta do is get your radio, find out your serial number, log on to community.spectrumrc.com, register your product, download the update, put it on the memory card that comes with the radio, stick your card in there and turn it on. Now if you had a problem like I did, all I did was I turned the power off, took the card out, turned it on. The screen and this little light right here started flashing at me, basically telling me I had a botched firmware. I put the card back in, I turned it back on, and that's the latest one that you saw where you saw it go all the way, turn back on. Now I'm on 1.06 instead of 1.01 alpha. It's completely updated. So now we got to test to make sure it works, and to do that, I'm thinking 130x time. Now one thing I've been reading is issues with the cards that come with the radios. This thing doesn't even have a class number on it, so I mean it's got to be the slowest possible one that they can find, which is cheapest. They probably get these for about a penny a piece. If you have another card, by all means use that other card just to be safe. The last thing I want you guys to do is brick your radio like I almost did, and I used this card. This is the card that came in this package, that came in this case. So, you know, maybe you ought to just go ahead and toss this one out. It's cheap. You can go out and get a 1 gig. You know, 1 gig, it's 8 times this size. You can hold 8 times as many files, which I don't think you're ever going to fill up on 128, quite honestly. Throw this one away, get you another card, that way you don't have any issues. When they come out with the next update, I'm going to try it with a new card. I'm not going to try this one anymore. So I will do an updated video of the firmware update on the DX9 once that firmware update comes out. Then we'll kind of compare the two and see if it worked out. Now as always, I encourage you guys to come over and post up questions. I don't care how small the question is, we'll help you guys out. Below this video is a link to a thread on the forum, and I want you guys to come in and I want you guys to tell me what videos you want to see on this DX9. You know, it's a fantastic radio. If you have the money to get a DX9, it doesn't have to be the black edition. I wanted the black edition because it comes with a case. You know, I'm not that easy on stuff. Get the DX9, guys. You know, if you're kind of tossing DX8, DX9, get the DX9. It's got way more features, and I'm liking it a lot better than I did my DX8. So click on the link below and come tell me what videos you want to see. I will try to get every one of them posted up for you guys. I want to thank everyone for watching. Here's to hoping your firmware upgrade goes easier than mine did. Remember, throw that card out and get you a new class 4 card, class 6 card, you know, something that you know is going to work. I want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.